metalheads, welcome to Graphic Metal, where metal is celebrated with design in mind. This is one of a 9-part series in which I give you my favorite albums of 23, broken down by the different subgenres of both rock and metal, with this specific episode focusing on where it all began, heavy metal, or more specifically, anything within the realm of heavy power symphonic metal along with proto-hard rock. Oh, and I also have a surprise for you in this one. And to be crystal clear, this is a personal preference list for entertainment and educational purposes with the intent to celebrate these amazing bands and the albums that they created, along with just the rock and metal community as a whole. If you choose to comment, please respect me, each other, and the bands. And if you end up liking any of them, please find a way to support them. The rating system in which I use to evaluate these albums include the music, the concept, and the production. Each of the metrics are measured, tallied up, and given an overall score, the graphic metal score, if you will. It is also worth remembering these are albums, not songs, albums. So with that, let's get to it. Here are my top heavy metal albums of 2023. Number 10, Code Red by Primal Fear, graphic metal score of 84. It's their 14th starting back in 97 from Esslingen, Germany, a band that sometimes can be mistaken for Falconer. The reason being is because every one of their 14 albums graphically represent the depiction of a falcon. Although, worth noting that their previous one, Metal Commando, is borderline. It could be challenged. This is the old reliable power album of 2023. And speaking of old reliable, the band sonically that best represents or is most similar to this band is the gods of metal themselves, Judas Priest. Especially on this one, where you see a mix of the fast pace with melodic choruses like Another Hero, mid-tempo with focus on upbeat riffage like Deep in the Night, and longer ballads, both the campy ones like Forever and the doomy ones like Their Gods Have Failed, all of which, as we know all too well, are staples of traditional heavy metal. Not to mention, they have in spades the dark and cheesy lyrics with the clanging steel background sound effects, like escape his heat, time for retreat. It's molten metal from the Steel Master. So let's raise a pint to Old Reliable. Number 9, Voyage by Tanith, graphic metal score of 84. Sorcerers, conquerors, architects of time. Our work defies imagination. I call out a few of those lyrics because it really sums up this old-timey band that feels from another imaginative world, or at least another time rocking out with the likes of Lizzie, UFO, and Budgie. much like the latter, who never got the respect and the attention that they deserve. This is a band that probably most of you have never heard of, but you should. Just their sophomore release, this trio from Brooklyn, New York, named after the character in the novel The Devil Rides Out by Dennis Wheatley, is killer fun. It's the Architects of Time album of 2023. Seriously, this is a disc you pop in after a long, hard day at work and just want to boost your spirits. It just has this warm and welcoming presence to it. And you just want to oftentimes just sing along to it. Number 8, Fatale by The Night Eternal. Grafikmetal score of 85. Come for the 80s drums, stay for the eternal night. AK, it's the I Want to Be Turned Into a Vampire album of 23. From one new sophomore release band that to another that also feels like from another era. In this case, we go from Essen, Germany, and travel from the 70s to the 80s. This is your gothic rock meets traditional heavy metal album. So think Danzig, or as of late, Idle Hands, who ended up changing their name onto others. I already mentioned it, but the production on all levels, from the drums to the eerie guitar vibration and echo on vocals, it is straight out of the 80s, and I'm not complaining one bit. It slays and makes you wish you want to hunt in the night. Number 7, Mosaic by Theocracy. Grafikmetal score of 86. From metal pop to the bubblegum power prog album of 2023. It's an album that has that long distance effect, like long distance race, right? Because you don't feel it at all until you're at least halfway in. Tracks 5 onward is the reason why this album made the list. Furthermore, it has a closer, the last song, which is it's one of the strongest songs of the entire year. Red Sea, a baptism-like experience in the vein of Iron Maiden's Rime of the Ancient Mariner. That 5-minute instrumental arrangement from it's like 6:50 to 11:50 in particular. That is among the best musical output, period, bar none. And speaking of number 5, this is their 5th disc hailing from Athens, Georgia. And I'd recommend it for fans of Maiden, Threshold, and also Angra. Number 6, Reader of the Runes Rapture by Elvin King, a graphic metal score of 86. Number 11 for a band from Italy who has been around since like the late 90s. It's the Fire Pit conversational starter album of 23. It's one that you really have to pay close attention to really appreciate it. From the layers, the fills, sequential arrangements, all the subtleties. It's no more present than on the vocals themselves. They add a lot of vocal layers in the background, and all these elements and the presence. It's for fans of Powerwolf, Sonata Arctica, and also older Nightwish. Number 5, End All We Know by Moras of Molasses, a graphic metal score of 86. Nothing quite like this one. It's the mammoth stomping on the grounds of this decrepit yet beautiful planet album of 23. It's difficult to categorize, let alone describe, but here's my shot. Guitar melodies and solos are delivered like classic heavy metal. Down tuning, thunderous riffs like stoner metal. Midstream change of pace and song structure like prog rock. And the vocals, along with experimentation and sound effects like alternative. Regardless, it's definitely rooted in blues. Which major shout out to the sick bass. It really stands out. Bones the Beard has a Billy Sheenan like kind of playful style to himself. I freaking loved hearing it, and I loved how well it also just fit with the eerie soundscapes that this band and the songs represent. It's album number 3 for the band, coming from Reading, England. It's another where they like to have fun and be playful with their names. It's Phil the Mountain, Bones the Beard, and Raj the Guru. And it's recommended for fans of, I'd say, Voivod, Baroness, and Faith No More, and also even Clutch. Number 4, League of the Serpent by Saint Demon, graphic metal score of 87. John Thor, the vocalist. Sometimes he reaches too high of a pitch for my liking, and there's also nothing really game-changing about this one, but I'd also say it's like the karaoke-ready power metal album of 23. It's filled with sing-along choruses, memorable melodies, and fulfilling ballads that capture fans of, Halloween, Sabaton, Glory Hammer, and pretty much any other like standard modern power band out there. Actually, there is one thing to point out, which is a little bit different. They do this interesting thing. They blend sometimes acoustic with electric guitar really effectively, and with it, they almost got like a little bit of a country vibe to them. And I know that might make you cringe, but it actually really, really works. Standout tracks is Gates of Paradise, Load Your Cannons, and Heaven to Heart. Number 3, Sacrament by wytchhazel. Grafikmetal score of 88. Much like Grafikmetal's number 2 Doom album of 23, this band and Death Chant have a lot of similarities. Both are heavily influenced by the dual harmonic melodic guitar work via Wishbone Ash, Lizzie, Maiden. But where Death Chant lean a little more on the darkness of Doom, especially lyrically and vocally, wytchhazel triples down and stays hyper focused. In the early 70s, lighter vocal tone and lyrics around battle, spirituality, and faith. Even cloning the exact same production sound found in 1972's Argus by Wishbone Ash, which I highly recommend listening to after you give Sacrament a spin. Album number 4, coming via Lancaster, England. Worth noting that despite those Christian lyrics, they are not on record and actually being identified as a Christian band. I think we talk about on this channel all the time. They're just leaning in on branding. And shout out to the solid graphical album cover, even if it really kind of makes me think of Christmas. And as a result of that, I'm going to call this one the Santa Sacrificial Flame album of 2023. I warned you that we had a surprise for you. We have a tie at number 1. Both receiving top remarks, but because one of them truly fits in the subgenre perfectly, versus the other one is controversial. So to avoid an uproar, I decided, and I also genuinely believe that they both are deserving for entirely different reasons. So we got two number 1 albums. But you know the drill. Before we get to them, here are some honorable mentions. Cobra Spell by Cobra Spell. Grafikmetal score of 79. The guitar playing by Sonia Anubis is pretty much why you listen. It's Randy Rhoads-esque. Rest in peace. Superb. But other than that, not much else to say. Judgment Day by Love Bites. Grafikmetal score of 83. The vocals hold this one back. It's too much. It's too much for me. But it still is a damn impressive album. It's chock full of the dual melodic guitar riffing and just they actually have a larger than life stage presence to them. It's an all-female band from Tokyo, and I do highly recommend it if you can handle high-pitched vocals. This Heathen Land by Green Lung, a Grafikmetal score of 84. Many of you raved about this one, and I do get it. It has all the right parts, and I love the new direction. It's got the Sabbath ghost and sword vibe going, but it is welcoming. But this just didn't grab me. Interestingly enough, I actually found that the last one had more memorable moments. This one, whereas I liked the direction of it, it just wasn't clicking for me. But nonetheless, it's solid, and I know a lot of you out there like it, so I definitely recommend it. Okay, let's get to it. The first of the number 1 albums. Number 1, Outsider by Night Demon, a graphic metal score of 93. Thrash? Check. Power? Check. Mid-tempo chugger? Check. Doomish ballads? Check. Catchy sing-along choruses? Check. Storytelling? Check. Pace variation? Check. Creativity? Check. Seriously, this album has it all. The Escape from Beyond album of 23. Just listen to the Wrath alone, and I dare you to disagree. And with the bonus track, it even has the perfect 1-2 punch to really just wrap it all together. It did take some getting used to, even for me, because it was a little bit of a new direction from their previous ones. So, and I understand, original fans, it's hard to please you. But this one, I just felt like it really pushed things. Beautiful and daring challenge for them to really elevate in the same way as like Ghost has, right? And we're not complaining about that. It's for fans of Iron Maiden, Ghost, Diamond Head, and also Angel Wish. Just get to it already. Listen to it. And the second of the number 1 albums, and worth noting, I can already hear the chants in the background. What? It's not even metal, man. Well, I say, what is metal without some controversy? Sanguivar by Creeper, graphic metal score of 96, and it's another unicorn. Type O negative has been reincarnated as a vampire, with Jim Steinman as writer and Meatloaf smiling from the grave. Rest in peace, all of you. This is a modern opus concept with old school 80s gothic metal at its side. It's about those pesky creatures that we always seem to love. If Marvel doesn't want to bring back Blade, don't worry. Creeper's got your back. It's the Grave Razor album of the year. If you're gonna take the time to learn these darn instruments, why the hell would you not want to have the power of storytelling on your back? Album number 3 for Creeper, coming via Southampton, England, who started out actually as a punk band, but now they have morphed into something entirely different. The Damned meets Ghost meets My Chemical Romance meets, yep, you betcha, Meatloaf. The chimes surround my ears, followed by the piano, and then the guitar riff kicks it off. They all play in harmony with a build-up that leads into an emotional, melodic solo with the choir singing in the background. And they don't skip ahead. Remember, this is a concept piece. So taking the first 2 minutes to lay the ground and the world building. And the next 8 minutes creating its characters and the plot. It's important. A great example of the similarities is David Fincher's The Killer with Michael Fassbender. The first 20 minutes is just one long scene, setting the stage for who the character is, his purpose, what he does, the world, and what she's doing it in. In this climate, with all of us constantly distracted and being bombarded by endless options, and this being a concept story to boot, I mean, what this song does is it instantly pulls you in and just kind of grabs. Deeper than a dream, I was the night, you the terrifying light, and a kiss could end a life. Will Gold sings with his gothic delivery, and then the drums kick in, and his screams, go! Oh, man, we're off and running. You said you would, you promised me. Let's take a ride, let's agree to make our home. Black heaven. It may not be, air quotes, metal, but I challenge any of you to listen to it. After all, where else can you see Jesus giving head in a strip club? And that was the list. Now, you got 8 more to go. Episodes for each of the different subgenres. The links to them, along with the playlist for this one, can be found in the description below. Soon, I will be releasing all my newly created designs to pay tribute to each of these albums, so keep a lookout for them. Until the next time, keep on rocking. Cheers.